Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Milan. I help people with their Airbnb properties, listings, accounts, and similar. If this is your first time here, welcome. If not, welcome back. It's my pleasure to share with you today how to set up your Airbnb listing. And let's get straight into it without further ado. First of all, what is an Airbnb listing? Simply explained, it's an account. So you create an account with Airbnb and you register your property, whatever it is, whether it's an apartment, a house, shared apartment, if it's a room even, depending on what you're looking for. And you will insert all the necessary data and information such as address, where it's located, as much description about what is available at your premise and at your property, and of course your payment details, or rather how you get paid from Airbnb once you register your account. So how do you start? Well, the most important thing is of course to start by registering at Airbnb. So if you go to airbnb.com or co.uk, you can just find basic login information such as email and password. Please remember those. And once you're in, I'll show you what's next. So I'm going to click on my account, and you will see here, because you will typically be logged in as a traveler, because for you to be a host, then you'll have to switch to hosting, which you will normally, if you're on your computer, you will find that in the upper right menu here. It says switch to hosting, and we're going to do that now by clicking. And here, since there are no reservations because there is no listing created yet, so there is no one you're currently hosting, who's arriving soon, upcoming, or pending review, you have none of those, nor do you have reservations because, of course, you don't have a listing active. In order to create your listing, you're going to click on Menu, and then here, create a new listing. Exciting. For me, they already know me, I've registered. Now, this is a very important part. So you're going to click, that was my mistake, you're going to click to create a new listing. And then you can either watch this video if you want to. It's different people sharing different experiences in Airbnb. You can also exit. What you're going to do is you're going to click on Let's Go. This is a very important thing. So it's very important to have a precise description of what your listing or your unit is. So whether it's a flat, a house, a secondary unit, unique space such as a yurt or a tent or a tree house or a floating house. There are many unique accommodations in the world, and if your accommodation befalls this category, you can go here. Bed and breakfast, of course, self-explanatory if it's something similar to a hostel or a motel or a place where you actually provide breakfast, or a boutique hotel. In my case, I'm going to choose a flat, and I'm going to continue with a flat. Right, and here you have very nicely described of how each place or unit is described. A rental unit would then be a rented place with a multi-unit residential building or complex. An apartment would be a place with a multi-unit building or complex owned by the residents. A loft, a serviced apartment, casa particular, I hope I pronounced it, or casa particular, and a holiday home. In my case, that would be an apartment. Then I'm going to click on Next. Very important. The next step requires of you to describe what part of your, in this case, apartment, are the guests going to have access to. So are they going to rent an entire apartment? And be very mindful that this means that you are not expected to be in the apartment if you put this option. If you put private room, then that means that you have an apartment of your own, and it's, let's say, 2-bedroom apartment, and the guests have access to a room of their own. And if it's a shared room, then let's say you have a one unit or one bedroom apartment. And if it's a big apartment, then it's kind of expected that the guests are sleeping in the same space pretty much as the hosts. And this is what would be a shared room. In my case, it would be an entire place. And let's go on next. Now, this is of course very important. So in my case, I'm going to write my current address, and I suggest that you do the same with yours. There are cases where it's very difficult to find the address, but rest assured that when you contact us on Airbnb, then you will get proper instructions on how to resolve issues, such as, for example, if your property is located somewhere where it's difficult to find, like in the outskirts of the city or in a forest, there are solutions to this, so you're encouraged to always reach out to us. In this case, it's quite automatic. As you can see, the process is automatic and the things are filled on their own. You can highlight the option, this one, show your specific location, and it says that you make it clearer to guests where your place is located, but the Airbnb will never share the address until a guest has booked. Have that in mind, because that is a very important piece of information. When you put your place out on Airbnb, the potential guests will never be able to see your exact address on the map. They will see a circle, and within that circle you will be located. So you're actually kept perfectly safe until a reservation or booking has been confirmed, and thus the contact with hosts, direct contact between hosts and guests has been established, so that your privacy is guaranteed. So I usually have this off, so because it doesn't matter for me. Go next. Again, if the pin needs to be repositioned and if this is not the right address, then you can do so. In my case, it checks out, and I'm going to double check. Yes, so this checks out. So I'm not going to change it. Let's go next. Very important. How many guests are you willing to accommodate? My normal and usual suggestion is that you keep it to 2 so that you can maximize your profits. If, of course, you're interested in making an Airbnb your business. And that is what I'm trying to teach you and help people make, because it is a fantastic way to earn really good money and have a very good rapport with your guests while you're there. So what does this mean? This means that the standard is 2 guests. And in my next video, in one of my upcoming videos, I'm going to explain to you why this is good, because you can actually charge guests extra. You can charge an additional amount for extra guests. And bear in mind that if you have 2 guests, consider the option of that being a family with a child, and then plan accordingly and think with yourself whether you would like to earn more money if there is a child coming, or would you like to keep it strictly to 2 people with no child. That is up to you. Beds, how many beds do guests have? If it's a queen or king size bed, or if it's 2 single beds. The number of bedrooms and bathrooms. This is all going to be like this in my case, and then I'm going to go on next. So, as you can see here, that guests know what your place has to offer. I don't have a pool. I do have hot tub would then be, I guess, a regular tub that can be filled with hot water. I could be wrong. But let's say that for the sake of this video, I'm going to choose what is true. Let's say hot tub. No Wi-Fi, no TV. There is a kitchen, no washing machine, paid parking, if of course there is one in your area, dedicated workspace, first aid kit, and then next. Now this is important because it's very important for guests to know, because there are guests that simply require more and want more. If there is a more luxurious apartment, of course, there are people who are very willing to pay for that. And if not, of course, that is up to you and them. Very important when it comes to photographs is that you take as many good quality photographs from as many angles as possible. And you will find very good examples. You can actually do your own research on Airbnb and find a place that you like. And you can see very clearly that the person has invested plenty of effort and energy and money into how their listing looks like, because the pictures are very well lit and they're in very high definition and resolution. So I really suggest that you either invite a friend who has a good phone and that can help you with taking good photos and uploading them, rather than rushing the entire process and having, let's say for example, low quality photos and just uploading them, because that will actually impact how other people see you, because they might not take you as seriously as someone who, for example, has really, really good pictures. Since I'm not going to rent this apartment, it's an apartment that I live in, and the agreement that I have with the owner of this apartment is that I do not rent it. I'm going to only demonstrate with the pictures that I took from my phone. So let's see, I'm going to do this. That was not good. Here, yes. Okay, they either have to be JPEG or, okay. So now I'm going to have to convert these pictures. Or I can simply download a picture of the apartment, but that will then not be desirable. Let's see, I'll try again. Okay, it seemed for some reason it didn't work. Now it seems to work. It's working. That is the most important thing. So make sure that you have JPEG format of pictures. If you don't know what that is, just go online. It's very easily explained. Normally the standard format of the picture that you take via your phone or your camera. So we are waiting for these to be uploaded. There it is. Ta-da! So you can reorder these photos here to see which one shows first. If you want this one to show first when the guests open your listing, when they click on your listing, then you will put this one first. And if not, you can put this one first. It's completely up to you. The most important thing to memorize here is that you need a good picture that kind of shows the apartment very beautifully and what it has to offer. Normally the living room. In my case, as I said, I'm not going to put this one online, or when I do, I'm going to take it down because I'm not renting my apartment. Don't worry, Bianca. So I'm going to check this. It's very difficult because it's putting me back down. It's pushing me down. But for any case, you can always go back to here and you can rearrange your photos. You can edit them. When you click on edit, you can add a caption, such as here is this tiny cozy corner of mine. And you will see why this is important, because when you save this, it's normally when you hover over the photo, which is not displayed now, you will see that later. When you hover over the photo or click on it, the caption will be put there. And it's important. Why captions are important? Because you can kind of share a personal story of yours or show to your guests how important your listing is and how good of a connection you have with your living space, because that actually shows people that you care about your living environment and you take good care of it. When you edit it, you can also go to edit. You can enhance it, as you see, as I said before. The good quality photos are usually bright. So you can see the difference here. There is this and there is that. I normally like this. You can choose contrast, brightness, You can also zoom in and out. For example, I like this one the way it is, so I'm going to save it. And you can do this for each photo that you have on your listing. And it's quite an enjoyable process because you can really see the change, and once you start making money, it's very easy for you. It's actually inspiring to do that. So, as you can see now, this is the cover photo. It's much different than the previous one, and when the guests, potential guests and guests look, they will first see this photo when they see your listing, and I will show you that in one of my next videos. We can go on next. You can also upload more photos, but we're gonna go next. And title. Now, what's very important about a title is that you find something that's catchy, but not kitschy, as I like to say. So you want something that attracts people, but does not push them away by saying the best, the most luxurious. Although these are quite captivating, if you do not have a listing that indeed is luxurious, please don't put that, because you will be shooting yourself in the foot, and people will actually see that there is a disparity in what you wrote with what you show. So be realistic, but also optimistic. In my case, I'm going to say cozy apartment in the heart of Malmö. It is cozy, it is in the heart of Malmö, and I guess therefore it's okay to put that. So I'm going to go on next. Choose up to 2 highlights. In this case, it would be central and it would be peaceful. Definitely. You can choose your own. It's important that depending on your focus and your target group, because it's very important that you know what kind of people you want in your apartment. You might want to host mainly families. If you're a family person, if you have a family of your own, then you know how it is, and you know that you need peace, you need comfort, you need, for example, not students or people who party. So please also be mindful of what kind of people you're attracting and inviting into your space, and that is obvious in the way you present yourself, because that's how you can avoid many potential miscommunications or having people in your place that don't respect your rules and Airbnb listing, and that will not cause you issue at any point. We'll go on next. Okay, description. You have 500 characters to do this, and what you should do here is say, for example, the apartment offers a large living room with a beautiful view over Jesusparken, which is a park that I can see straight from my window. So make sure that you are true, that you are telling the truth about what is, that you are first of all objective and then subjective, because in your description people want to know facts rather than opinions. So it is nice to also, if you can find a healthy combination of the two, then that is perfect. I will spare the time of this video so that we can go further, but make sure that when creating your description that you have in mind to be informative as possible, as concise as possible. 500 characters, more than enough. Moving on. Very important thing, and one of the most important things in this video, is how much should you charge per night. Now, when I work with my clients, with people whom I assist in hosting and whom I'm co-hosting with, is I say, and you can also see this, that there is a price tip, 409 to 681. Fair enough. And yes, as it is mentioned here, suggested prices are based on your listing's location and amenities, as well as nearby prices and demand. You choose your price and you can adjust it at any time. Don't forget that. You choose your price, you can change it at any time. My personal advice, I normally charge for this, but I'm going to give it to you for free, is to do your own research. And how do you do that? You log in as a guest and you search for apartments in the same area in which your apartment is. and you see the prices. You are realistic, of course, about your apartment and your prices, and you being a beginner. Be very modest and humble, because believe me, if you do this right, you're gonna go a long way. And compare the prices and see where your apartment fits. Don't forget that it's a highly competitive market, so you have the upper hand if you put a lower amount. However, that might not satisfy you in the beginning, because of course you have the right to ask more, especially if you offer an entire apartment. Because in my case, if I were to ignore this and simply focus on the quality of what I have to offer, I would put 1,000 Swedish kronas, which is equivalent to 1,100 euros, pardon me. How to calculate the right price? I use this rule. Charge less than a hotel and more than a hostel, because that is how you will eliminate that kind of competition. So you are not too expensive, because you're also modest and you know that you can't offer the quality of service such as a hotel can, and you're not a hostel that has 6 bunk beds in one room in which people pay, let's say, 10 euros per night. So you know where you are not. So you cannot charge 200, 300 euros. It's also not nice to charge 20, 30 euros, depending on the currency that you're using. So you find a golden middle and you build from there. And the more you improve, the more you earn ranking, reviews, which I will cover in one of the upcoming videos. The more you earn reputation as a good host, and believe me, this is very important, the more it's easy for you to boost your price, because as your value as a host grows, so does your price. And please remember this when you start hosting, because if you keep yourself small, you're going to remain small. But if you have a vision and if you want to upgrade, and believe me, you will make money enough to upgrade your apartment, then you can stretch that forward and you can have a clear vision of what you want for your apartment. I'm going to choose 1,000. As I said, I'm only showing this. I'm not going to have my listing online. We're going to go on next. How are you hosting an Airbnb? As a private individual or as part of a business? Normally and naturally, you will select that you're hosting as a private individual, because unless you have an established business of your own, then don't select that. If you do, then you can do that as part of a business, and then you will be asked questions about that subsequently. And then if you have security cameras, weapons, or dangerous animals at your place, you need to select that. I hope that you don't. And if you do, that's fine, just select it. And the important things to know is that whatever you do complies with the local laws. And you can usually read them here. Also, the non-discrimination policy of Airbnb, which I really suggest that you read, because Airbnb will ask of you to not discriminate when hosts contact you. And please bear in mind one very important thing, that when you get contacted by hosts and potential hosts, if you decline too many reservations, you will be looked at or frowned upon, as I like to say, because you will be asked as to why you rejected the reservations, because it's expected of you to kind of help and contribute to the business by accepting reservations non-discriminately. That will be up to you based on your parameters. So let's move on. I will also cover the cancellation policy after you publish, because this is a very important thing, because a cancellation policy means at what point are guests allowed to cancel with no fee. And based on several categories of cancellation policies, you can either charge nothing for your guests to cancel, or you can charge them the full amount of what they booked, no matter what the circumstances are. So, as I said, that will be covered in one of the upcoming videos. Now we're going to review the listing. And this is how you will see, this is how it looks like. As you can see, as I said before, the picture that you chose to be on the cover appears here. Here is the description. It sounds very nice and short and sweet. Entire apartment hosted by me. This is what it offers. And this is the description. Again, you will elaborate a lot more than I did, but here it is. Amenities are here. This is the location. Quite simple, quite short, quite sweet. Now, before you click publish your listing, you need to know one very important thing. The moment you click this, your listing is online and available to be booked instantly by guests. This might be overwhelming for people who, and I've had questions like these because I work with clients directly, and they've reached out to me and said, I don't know what to do because I only clicked on this and that, and now I don't know what to do because the guests are already booking and they're already coming. So people really had a very panicky way of approaching it because they did not know what happens after you publish your listing. And of course, I'm here to tell you that click on this only if you are ready from that moment to receive guests from the next day, like from literally from this day to indefinitely until you change those settings, which I will cover in the next video. So the next video will be about adjusting how you want your calendar to look like, and how you want people and whether and at what time you want them to book and not book, because you are in charge of that. You control your calendar and you can access your calendar to see at what time guests can come. And I will show you that once we publish our listing. So now that I clicked, my listing is online. Ta-da! And hi Brian. Let's jump in. So you are now active. The first thing you want to do before I end this video is, of course, after watching this, I'm already a super host because I've been hosting for a while now. But in my case, I will go straight, which I suggest that you do right away after you've done and registered your listing, unless you want to have unexpected guests and that you're not ready, that you click on your apartment, and here you will see instant booking on and listed. You will go and click on listed, and this is very important, please bear with me. You can either snooze it, and that means it won't show up in search results during the period you set and you'll still be responsible for any already confirmed reservations, or you can unlist it, which means that guests cannot book it or find it in search results. And I recommend that you do this until you are 100% ready and certain that you are ready to book guests from this point onwards. Airbnb will not tell you this. I'm telling you this, and I'm telling you to do this right after you click publish your listing, just so you can set everything up and you can see on the side there is so much to do. There are photos, there is location, you can always there is always something to add, and there is always something to work on. Pricing and availability, all these things that I will cover in one of the next videos. So what I'm going to do, because again, I'm not renting this apartment, I'm going to unlist it. And I'm going to put, let's say, other reasons. Next, because I need to, respectfully. Next, no. Again, this is going to happen. Airbnb will offer you to consider snoozing it instead, but you're going to click on unlist anyway. So you unlist, and you can breathe now. Now you can breathe because there are no guests that are going to look your listing or see it because it's invisible right now. So you can actually take a breather and you can relax until you activate it and until you are ready, that you have everything that you need to work on, that we're going to cover in one of the upcoming videos. So please stay tuned. I will keep you posted and updated on the developments. Please like and subscribe so that you can get notifications about how this works, the entire process, when a new video comes up, because I'm sure you will benefit from it. And please don't forget to use the following link that I put in the description below, or it should be somewhere here on the screen, when you register, because when you register your listing with my link, you will be put through directly for free consultation with me. I normally charge for this. In this case, you will get it for free because you used my link. So if you use my link and register, I'm your guy. You can ask me whatever you want, but I'm already giving you YouTube content. And if it's not enough, just contact me in person and we'll resolve any problem that you might have. So, having said that, thank you for watching this video. Good luck, because this is a tremendous business that if you put enough effort and energy into, will pay off tremendously. If you don't want to do that, that's perfectly fine. In any case, thank you for your time. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.